Yes, sir. Geeks all over the globe, guys. Welcome to a brand spanking new episode because we geeks. We encourage you to stay geek, man. Listen, you got your boy feeling like a Thundercat out here, man. It's your boy Real. We got the panel back again. We got Cuz in the building, Big J, and then of course we got BA, man. Pretty interesting topic today, man. Y'all already know how we do, man. We're talking about all things involving the geek culture, movies, television, all them good things. Do us a favor, hit them subscribe buttons if you're new to the channel. Join us over here every Tuesday evening, Saturday morning as we get our geek on. And also, too, everybody, please hit them likes for us today, man. We would definitely appreciate it if you guys would hit them likes. It definitely wouldn't cost you anything. Very simple. And it also helps out the channel in more ways than you know. So simply hit them likes. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. If you have any comments or any questions addressing the panel here for any of the topics that we bring up, simply put it there in the comment section and we'll address those at the end of the show. All right, fellas. This was a topic that we kind of brought up a little bit on the last show. Me, BA, and Big J, but we said we was gonna wait till Cuz came back to the show. And I know he really wanted to talk about it. This has been dominating the news here, entertainment news, I should say, here for the last about a week or so. A lot of questions, a lot of concerns, a lot of thoughts surrounding the WB Paramount merger. So we're gonna get to that, man. So we're just gonna have an all-out discussion about this and kind of give our thoughts and how we think this is gonna turn out, all that good stuff. And yeah. So fellas, let's get to it. But before we do, man, we gotta stop and show some love to the merch, man. Show some love to the merch. Sir, ladies and gentlemen, if you're interested in the merch of the channel, simply scroll down to the description box. There are links to each one of the t-shirts there in the description box. So go ahead, scroll on down to the description box and get your shop on, y'all. All right, fellas. Like I said, man, we're gonna get into this conversation here, man. It's gonna be a pretty interesting topic. This is definitely gonna be our main topic. Well, as everybody know, if you've been living under a rock, this is what's been going on. Paramount is set to buy Warner Brothers after Netflix refused to raise their offer.
What?
Also, Paramount raised its bid to 31 per share. Netflix declined to match it. So actually, that's going to be, well, we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Paramount plans to keep James Gunn and Peter Safran as heads of DC Studios. All right, let's look at this slate right here, man. So this is the new details right here. The Warner Brothers revealed major merger plans. The new details: HBO Max and Paramount will combine into one streaming service. So supposedly they're saying HBO Max will be absorbed into Paramount Plus. 15 films per studio with 45-day exclusive theatrical windows. The merged companies will carry approximately $79 billion in debt. You heard correct. $79 billion with a B in debt. $6 billion in cost cutting across the tech, real estate, and corporate overhead, and no plans to spin off cable assets, meaning sports like UFC could air across networks. Films, TV shows will be licensed to other platforms. AI described as a tool for artists, not a replacement for storytellers. Well, fellas, this is what we are living with right now. This is what we're dealing with right now. For folks who don't know, This all started out some months back, maybe about 5 months now back. Netflix was intending to buy Warner Brothers once Warner Brothers split kind of went through, where they split their TV and their news and all that stuff, their entertainment and stuff split from their news and like the CNNs and all that stuff, the Discoveries and all that stuff was split from their TV and television division. So once that happened, that's when Netflix swooped in and wanted to buy the television and film side of Warner Brothers, but Warner Brothers decided to make it an open sale for everybody, which led to the Netflix and Paramount being interested. But Netflix is the one who put a better bid in, and of course, for the longest, everybody and mama thought Netflix was going to be the one to actually own Warner Brothers. But I think about 2 weeks now, they decided to give old Paramount one more chance. They end up doing it, and kind of find out their new bid. They had a week to come up with a better bid. They did it, and supposedly Warner Brothers and them love that bid over Netflix. Netflix, I believe, had 5 days, Big J, to match that. 4 days. They had 4 days. Yeah, I think it was something like that. 4 days to match that. They declined. So we can start off with this before we get into anything else. Let me get y'all's initial thoughts when you found out that Paramount ended up outbidding Netflix in the end. Let me get your thoughts, cuz.
This was a true business decision on for Netflix as far as to back out of it. The cost of it would have been too much for a property that, I mean, we know that it's massive, but value-wise, it wasn't what it used to be. And then also, you just pausing, you will still have the opportunity at the 2.8 billion or 2.3. So as far as the breaking up the bid, essentially if something goes wrong, Netflix gets 2.8, and so they get that as well. So
yeah, they already got it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like for Netflix, it got to the point where it just be a no brainer. It's getting ridiculous. Essentially, what the CEO of Netflix said, like to what the type of bid that Paramount put in to win was just ridiculous. The leverage for it as well. It's but no matter how you see it, it's bad for the industry though. Just because like the consolidation, just looking at the industry side of it for now, the consolidation of studios haven't been good. It is fewer movies. They can, out of this 15 movies per studio, is trying to make it basically lipstick on a pig, just for the regulators and stuff like that. To make it...
We'll get to that in a minute, because just kind of give us your initial thoughts when you heard about Paramount outbidding Netflix in the end, and Netflix not trying to match it.
Upset. It was kind of like it was a scene in the Fantastic Mr. Fox when they would do a quick destroy some stuff. That was how I felt. Just want to destroy some stuff. It sucked. What you got, Big J?
I actually heard Will and Rail cussing from over here, when that news dropped. So I mean, I didn't even have to say any words. I just heard, F bombs being dropped from echoing across the plains. But yeah, I didn't like it. I hated it, but I had some rumblings. I mean, we heard that was Sarandos, the head of Netflix, had visited Trump
Ted
right
Sarandos.
before, and they said that one of the things Trump wanted him to fire somebody else, one of them on the board.
Susan Rice.
Yeah. And then they said also, but Sarando said when Trump found out he wasn't buying CNN, he lost interest because he was all against him buying it. But he was like, "Oh, y'all ain't buying CNN?" He was like, "Oh, okay, well, I don't care," because that's all he cared about. Which to me, that makes the Netflix thing. I mean, the Paramount Plus make even less sense, because if you know that the main goal of Trump was to get CNN to friendly hands, and Netflix didn't want to buy it, they were like, "Hey, just split it off, and y'all take, somebody else could take the rest." Why not let that happen and let Netflix pay what they was going to pay to absorb the studio, and then you also been buy all the TV assets. To me, I think they still would have made as much money. I think Warner would have still made as much money doing that. So I don't understand. I didn't understand their logic in it versus the other logic because, like I said, I just don't see the benefit. So I thought it was a bad deal all around. I think it's gonna be bad for the industry. I don't believe the 15 movies per studio foolishness. That's not gonna happen. I don't think either of those studios have released 15 movies in the last couple of years. So I think they said one of them released 12 a couple of years ago. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I don't believe any of that. I don't think they're gonna up the number of movies being released. So and one, they got to make all their money back. So I think it's gonna be more consolidation. I think you're gonna get less movies like Sinners and them less willing to take risks on original IP and sticking to that list. Like I remember somebody posted a list of all of the stuff that they would own combined. I think they're just gonna try and milk all those IPs to get as much money as possible because I mean that which will stifle all the stuff we used to see growing up, all the stuff I saw growing up, where you used to be able to go see a weird movie, that was just a movie that was made for like 10, $15 million or $20 million because it was
Mm-hmm.
like, we'll just make some, for the art or make something to win an award or something. They got to make their money back. They have to make $100 billion back. You know what I'm saying? So everything has to be bangers, and I just don't see them doing it. So I don't know. What you got, Ben?
The first thought was so Paramount is in debt.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And then WB is in debt.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So they was going to combine to be even more in debt.
Mm-hmm.
And then Netflix like, so y'all already in debt. We not, but y'all are. So I just wait this whole thing out and I'm gonna just buy both of y'all. That was my first thought process. Like they just gonna wait this thing out, and if it falls on his face, which a lot of people are saying that it could possibly fall on his face within a few years, they gonna swoop in about 10 years from now and just buy both products, and just be, do the Disney I got the Thanos joint, got one more stone to it. So that was my first initial thought process. Just Netflix just gonna be like, all right, we're not gonna go crazy with this bid. We only wanted y'all for y'all streaming services anyway. So we'll see what y'all can do. So that was the first thought. I guess the second thought right after that is I just started thinking on the consumer side. I understand what y'all saying when it comes to the movie theater. I mean, the independent movies and stuff. I get that. But how much is coming out of my pocket, right? That was my second thought because I'm always going to think about the consumer because I am that. And so like, I'm saying like, okay, maybe I ain't gotta have my I'll keep the Paramount, but the HBO gets within it. So all right, I might save a few dollars a month. Is that worth everything? It's a possibility. Will they raise the price of the monthly joint collectively to be more than the both of them separate?
Mm-hmm.
That's also a possibility that they could do that. So either way, I'm like, I'm not happy 100%. Like I'm not like jumping for joy whatsoever. But yeah, I would just, I like Netflix. I just like what they was doing. I was definitely a pro Netflix side, even when they was talking about, how the movies is going straight to like 15, 14 days, and that's it. It's coming right to streaming services. I just feel like they was in a power position, and sometimes I like to see people in powerful positions, act powerful in a sense, Paul. So I think that this is just one of those things where they're just going to fall back and wait, and it's going to be a S show. It's going to be a poop show along the way, and we're going to be along for the ride. As long as I get my Game of Thrones movie, I can care less what they do. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, just give me my Game of Thrones movie. Let that keep going and let that be in the works. Don't mess with the HBO side. I understand y'all gonna absorb HBO, but don't mess with the HBO side. And it's just the consuming me, the entertaining part of it. I'll be okay. Just don't mess with my Game of Thrones. Don't F that up. Y'all can have everything else up. Don't mess that up, though. Just keep that going and then let that be a proper, a high value IP. That's all. What you got, bro?
First of all, I'm gonna say this. I pray to God that this don't go through.
Same.
I pray to God it don't go through. And if it don't go through, it looks like Warner Bros. Is gonna stand on his own, which is how it should be in the first place. But I've said before, man, when they were talking about Netflix getting it and all that stuff, I know people were kind of like, they're going to kill the movie theater business and all that. And I think people were saying it don't make any sense if they do that. You're going to spend that much money to kill the theater when you could just bought, a certain thing from them instead of just spending damn near $90 billion to buy the whole entire, Warner Brothers, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, Ted Sarandos, like BJ was saying, the CEO of Netflix, he's been laying out plans and stuff like that. Seems like pretty concrete. He's been kind of doubling down on it. He's been saying pretty much the same stuff and what their plans were. I like the fact that nobody was going to lose their job. I like that part. I like how everything was going to stay literally intact. There was nothing that's going to change other than who owns it. You know what I'm saying? Like everything was going to stay intact. And now we're talking about them firing a ton of people, man. They said what was it? 6 billion. Oh, so I'm sorry, 16.
It's going to end up being like a $16 billion cut across like people, assets, IPs, everything. They're going to have to cut down.
Bro, listen, bro. I'm gonna say some stuff here because I'm not gonna go too much in it, because like we already talked about it off camera. I'm not gonna go too much into it. I do feel like there were outside forces that influenced this, because I think everybody named Mama kind of was already penciling in Netflix to purchase Warner Brothers. I think everybody kind of, even with them going into trial and all that stuff to fight it and all that stuff, they were gonna end up getting it. Right, because everything that they crossed all their T's and dotted all their I's, everything looked good. You know what I'm saying? There was nothing really that was a negative for them getting them. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, they planned to buy them. They planned to own and operate Warner Brothers with the thought of trying to get a foot into the door of the theatrical side. That's what they've been wanting to do, which is why you've been seeing them adding a lot of their movies from Netflix and add them into the movies for a week or so. They're trying to dip their foot into that realm or whatever, right? So that's why whenever I was hearing him say the stuff he was saying, and then like I said, the part where he said that people weren't going to lose their jobs, everything was going to stay intact. It was going to be Warner Brothers going to stay Warner Brothers. Maybe one or two things might change as far as like, DC stuff probably start going to Netflix, all that type of stuff. That's fine, whatever. That's not nothing major or whatever. As long as Warner Brothers staying Warner Brothers, I was cool. Now we talk about this stuff right here, man. And this is like, we never heard any kind of plan this guy has for the Warner Brothers studio. We haven't heard anything from this guy. Then the fact that we heard Ted Sarandos talk to these different people, these different studio heads and different presidents of these different fractions of Warner Brothers. He actually talked to these people and told them what the plans were. Gave them reassurance like, yo, for everything, business is gonna be as usual. Like we good. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you gonna be here, we're gonna continue to keep doing this. Warner Brothers was, like I said a million times, Warner Brothers was extremely profitable. This past year, they're the most profitable studio in Hollywood right now. So why would I want to mess that model up? Y'all got it going. You got a CEO in Zaslav that pretty much pulled the studio out the mud and made them profitable. Why would I mess that up? Right? Y'all keep things going where y'all been going. Now you got these folks over here, like you said, BJ. You talk about trying to recoup some of that money back. Kind of like what Diddy did. Diddy got started rattling off them $1 billion movies. I got to make up for this $80 billion I just spent to buy Fox or whatever. Yeah. Can you name me one possible $1 billion franchise they're gonna have here in the next 5 years at Paramount? Hell, what do they got coming out this year? You see what I'm saying? Like, bro, come on, man. Like,
I think the only thing that could have, I was about to say, the only thing that could, within 5 years, possibly is Star Trek. Possibly. I think that'd be the only, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's possibly the closest thing.
But I don't think it's probable. When the last time you seen a $1 billion Star Trek in any point in life? When have you ever seen a $1 billion Star Trek franchise? $1 billion in Star Trek franchise for any of the movies? You've never seen that before. So you're taking a high gamble on that. If you want to say, like, you know what, Star Trek will help us make that money back. When have you ever seen Star Trek make $1 billion? That's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of the stuff that they're not making any sense with the moves that they're making. And like BA said, bro, this is gonna go to this. If y'all thought the AT&T merger was bad for Warner Brothers, this is gonna be worse than that. I wouldn't put anything on that. This is gonna be worse than that if they end up getting this franchise, bro. Getting the studio. What were we say, BJ?
No, I was just looking at it. So I mean, yeah, I looked at it. They don't have any tent poles. I mean, and the other thing I'm concerned about is, are they going to start pandering to that audience of one and start doing stuff like, hey, let's get Brett Ratner to direct a new Game of Thrones movie. Let's get because but they basically said I forgot who the dude they just hired.
For the right G.I. Joe.
The dude who Landis,
he did.
Landis.
Yeah.
Who he hadn't done nothing, and it's like, except once again, him like Brett Ratner was accused of certain things, and so it looked like they're like we trying to uncancel people, and I'm like, so their agenda is not let's go do something artistic or let's go make money or let's go make good movies, or they're trying to
culture war.
Yeah, which I'm like, that business is gonna burn straight to the ground. All of it. I have not seen a successful business try that.
It's funny, Big J. I know we said we're not going to go this route, but it's always funny. Just because they're the loudest does not mean that they're the majority.
Who's going to end up winning?
We seen that with the Super Bowl, but hey, I mean,
wait,
I'm sorry,
what's your girl?
I'm trying not to go to.
What's your girl with the jeans?
Sydney Sweeney.
How much of her movies made? The last few movies?
The last 4 have been bombing.
No, okay.
That's why she actually had to speak out. I think Amazon might end up winning. Netflix will be like the top winner because they get the 2.8, and then they'll be buying off these pieces that Paramount sell. But I think Amazon's going to end up winning because they're going to be able to buy up these IPs without having to worry about much.
Yeah, like I put it in the chat. Y'all forgetting about Apple. I think Apple's going to swoop in because Apple has cash. Apple can buy all other
people. I don't know why Apple did not. Before we knew about Netflix, I was like, bro, why? I thought Apple was gonna win. I thought Apple was gonna win when I heard they was. I said either them or because Comcast been trying for years to get somebody.
Well, so I thought Comcast. The only reason they even bid in on the Fox was to get because they hated David Iger. I mean, Iger.
Oh yeah,
they hated Bob Iger.
Bob Iger.
So, the CEO of Comcast was like, that's why he hopped in there because he was like, I'm gonna drive the price up. Because remember that Fox deal was supposed to be like 45, I think 46 or 50 billion originally.
It was like under 80.
They drove the price to 71 billion because they were like, nah. And then they still didn't get off it because they wanted to get Sky, and they didn't get Sky because Comcast took Sky. Because that would have made it hugely valuable for Disney because they would have owned a cable channel in Europe. They would have owned basically Europe's cable channel. But that was Comcast being petty. And so. But I don't know, man. I wish Disney still had cash. But they said that's the problem. Disney's in debt right now because of the Fox merger. They're trying to dig their way out of.
They haven't dug their way out of it yet.
$71 billion?
Yeah, the way they've been raising these Disney Plus prices.
That's why they're trying to. Why do you think they're raising the prices? They're trying to dig their way out of that hole.
Bro, you ain't lied, bro. The prices is out of control.
Have they bought another IP since they bought? No.
Nope.
No.
See, I think they said that the thing was Apple was talking about buying Sony at one point, but Apple realized that Spider-Man will revert, so nobody's gonna buy Sony. If anybody
I remember Sony,
that. The rights revert. So
that's your only major profitable IP right now.
Isn't there another one that just dropped or something? I thought they have 2.
Ain't James Bond part of that too?
No, that's
MGM.
MGM.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Amazon. Yeah, that's right. They did buy them. I forgot about that. But So, bro, like I think what's going to end up happening, it's going to be a lot of people that's going to quit. So he's already
absolutely.
No, he's already upset the man who's over HBO.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly he's throwing out these plans and stuff like that. And he said he never even talked to this guy. Now, Ted Sarandon, like I said, Ted has been right here. He talked to everybody and let them know what the plans and all that stuff was. He had to talk to. You said you're gonna keep all these studio heads or whatever. You ain't talked to now one of them yet, and kind of ran it by them and let them know what the idea, what the plan is, what we're gonna be doing moving forward. He hasn't done none of that, but he had to run his mouth in the studio in the press about what the plans are.
Well, you saw the other part though too. Remember what you talked about that. Ellison said that they were looking for $6 billion in synergies, which means firings, but like I said, Sarandon said that they ran the numbers and they said they're gonna have to hit 16 to 18 billion to even put
what Cud was saying.
Yeah. So like I said, I think Ellison's just lying, and like I said, also like the stuff that Campy was talking about that just now because of the other thing that happened because of now that the deal's gone through, that all of the debt for Paramount has now been rated junk. Their corporate bonds have been now hit a junk rating for the investors. That they said the cost of their financing for the movies is going to go up. So it means it's going to cost more money for them to make any movies because nobody's going to want to lend them money because who's going to take on their debt? And the stock price.
And not only that, BJ, let me cut you off, but the fact too that they cannot gain the assistance of a outside financial backing. No foreign help. They can't do that. That's against the law or whatever. They can't do that.
But they did.
No, but that's why. Remember when originally they were going to do that, right? And what did Warner Bros. Say? No, we're not taking y'all's bid because you got help with on the outside source. We're not taking that bid, and so they made them take it out. They came back with that third bid or whatever, which wasn't enough, and now all of a sudden they came out with this fourth one or whatever, and people are wondering like how are they gonna $110 billion. They got to find out how are you going, bruh. That's a lot of money, man.
It's still foreign money, but that's the thing. They said that they were going to be silent partners. They have no voting stakes. They just going to own equity.
Yeah.
So
but they also feel, BJ, that with that's a foreign influence is a no-go for this deal. They don't want, especially if you're gonna be owning CNN and all that too. Like, we gotta avoid that or whatever. You can't have that. Which is why I'm trying to wonder where they all of a sudden you get this money from, because you struggled putting money together when you had them the first time. Or did you get more foreign people to help, foreign entities to help you add money to this deal? Like how 110? That's a lot of money. Where are you getting this from?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's I mean, like I said, I pray to God this deal don't go through. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I pray it don't go through.
Well, you already know they said that the attorney generals is planned on stepping in. The state attorney generals.
Yeah, the California state attorney. Yeah.
Well, they said it's multiple states, not just California.
Yeah, I think it'd be the liberal AG. So I think it'd be about 10 of them, and then you have the EU that don't like it as well. That will fight it. And then
I didn't hear that part, but okay.
The board has to approve it. The stockholders have to approve it, and then you have the AGs, and then you have the EU. So it still has a lot of ropes to go through before it gets the approval from or enough approvals for it. What you got, BA?
No, I just started to think like, what could they do if, let's say, they find a way for everything to go through, whether they cross all their T's, dot their I's, or somebody got a red dot pointed at somebody, the deal goes through. All right, so. What movies can they come up with? What can they do to chip away at this 80 plus $80 billion debt? Like what can you do?
You sell off.
Well, that or the fact that you can at least say within the last couple of years you did have a one in the top 10 grossing movies. With you can start there. You can have a whole Top Gun franchise. And continue that gave them 1.5 billion. They now own, with this being said, they now own Barbie. That was like 1.4, 1.5. All right, so now we're gonna have part 2, part 3, part 4. Like what that you had to. Sometimes when we think of things, like I just like to think of what can they do to be successful. We clearly can point out 1,001 things of how it's going to fail. But just think of if you was the person that's head of Paramount, what are you banking this on? Like what could you sell? What is your sales pitch in order to make this work?
It's a great question, BA. What is their sales pitch? Because they didn't tell nobody nothing. Yeah. They ain't told nobody what their sales pitch is. That's the issue. Go ahead, BJ.
So when you mention stuff like, here's the thing: when you mention stuff like the Barbie movie, right, or the Barbie, you ain't gonna get another Barbie movie because they hated the Barbie movie. You know what I'm saying?
You might hate something, but if it give you 1.4, give you 1.4. Money is money.
But here's what you got to understand: Larry Ellison himself. How much is the total purchase? 110 billion, right?
110 billion.
Larry's worth 192 billion. Larry has literal FU money. He could buy stuff and bury it, and still be worth $100 billion. You know what I'm saying? So and I know that's crazy, but we just saw that with Twitter, right? Somebody spent 4 times what Twitter was worth to buy it just so he could troll people on Twitter and control it.
Right.
So when you got that kind of money, you could do whatever you want. And he may be buying it just to be, because once again, he may turn that into state media. He may, you know what I'm saying? They could be like, hey, you know what? We're going to be the new Fox News. We're going to turn CNN to Fox News. We're just going to get all this, you know. So there's all kind of stuff that they may be trying to do to get back in deals with the government, you know. So we don't know.
And we got to remember too, they got a reputation right now in Hollywood. We've been talking about it on the show here over the last couple months or so, or whatever. They got a reputation right now. You already heard that news that they were talking about that a lot of them folks who work with them at HBO, it's talking about as soon as they find out that they were gonna buy Warner Brothers, they were gonna quit. Now I know Zaslav came out and said, "Hey, it's not a guarantee that this is gonna actually go through." And we're starting to hear some things that kind of point towards that direction, like it might not go through, but you never know. Hell, we didn't even know they were going to end up buying them. We thought it was a shoe-in for Netflix, so we never know.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm guaranteeing you that if they do end up, if this all, like B.A. said, if this all goes through, you're going to lose a lot of talent. And I think one of the talent for sure is going to be James Gunn. He's not sticking around for that, bro. James Gunn, what's the two runners, the two people who run WB? There's already rumors that Sarando was already talking to them and was like, yo, if this don't go through, hit me up. I got a spot for y'all over here at Netflix. You know what I'm saying? We see y'all making money for WB. Holler at me over here. I know you don't want to work for them.
Yeah, we already know James Gunn probably going back to Disney. I mean, that's what I've seen. I thought that, and I heard that multiple places too. That I've heard a couple people say the same thing, that they think James Gunn got a year left on his contract. They think he's gonna finish shooting Superman.
He got a year. It's a bunch of them got a year left on their contract. Remember, he extended them for one more year or whatever. And a lot of them got a year. Now they can either run that year through, or they could just not finish that last year, bro, and go where they want. I can see that actually happening. Like I said, Sarando's already kind of put his name out there, like, yo, holla at me. Like you said, Gunn having the option to go back to Disney. Now, the same way he went to Warner Brothers, gonna probably be the same thing. Like, yeah, he can still go back to Disney, but he gonna get a lot of suitors. Of suitors, bro.
Who's left though? That's the problem. Who's left?
Go ahead.
Well, so here's the thing. You know, he likes superhero stuff and that weird quirky. So who's left that has
Sony?
He gonna go to Sony?
Say he can go to Sony.
Does Sony have money like that?
He could turn Sony around, which would be insane. How insane would that be?
Bro, that would be crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you.
But that's the thing. The other studios, I just don't know if they got.
If I had to put your hot toys on the BJ. I think he's going back to Disney.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. I kind of agree with what John Campion said too. It makes sense. No, what's that, BA? What's that?
If this is not a sinking ship, if it's not, and they manage to tread water, I'm not going to go back and work under somebody else when I got full range here.
I was just about to say that.
But that's you haven't heard what John Campion saying, what he's about to say.
Yeah, I was just about to say. I like the idea. So I told Cuz this a while back. The original plan was for Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige wanted James Gunn to be his right-hand man. He was going to have his own portion of Marvel where he was running it on his own. It was the cosmic side. He was going to run the whole entire cosmic side of Marvel. And then it was going to eventually take over for Marvel after Kevin Feige. He had that, especially now with him running his own studio. Oh yeah, I can definitely see it now. I can definitely see him bringing him in, helping him usher in his new saga, and then him stepping back, and then finally letting James Gunn run Marvel. I can definitely see that. That makes a whole lot of sense. It makes sense because that was the original plan. Before the whole thing happened with Disney or whatever, and he ended up going over to Warner Brothers, which is why Warner Brothers, as soon as he went to Warner Brothers, they wanted him to run the studio. He originally said no because he didn't want to run it by himself, and that's when Peter Safran came aboard, and he ended up running it together. So him going back to Disney, that makes a lot of sense. Go ahead, come over here, help me get this ship going for this saga. I'm about to step down. Bam, you right back into you back to owning your own, studio or whatever. I can definitely see that. It makes a whole lot of sense.
4 years of experience by that time of running a studio.
Yeah, running a studio. Yeah, and he's not. I don't think he's going to be the only one by himself again. Chances are he's going to probably bring Peter Safran over there with him because they're partners.
Oh, they still got Brad Wunderbaum and all the rest. So you know what I'm saying?
Oh, wait,
Feige got all his dudes too. You know what I'm saying? They could split up the universe into different segments like they're talking about, but he could be over the whole arc.
Just to play advocate. Mm-hmm. Just to be advocate. I like being that role sometimes.
I know.
What did James Gunn direct any Avengers movie?
No.
Right? He always said to succeed to somebody else, right? Mm-hmm. Suppose the Russo brothers wasn't told something similar. We're really just going on what people said at this point. Who did he call? Who did Feige call to save him? He called them.
As a matter of fact, let me piggyback off what you just said. If that's the case, if that was something he also told the Russo brothers, then why did the Russo brothers leave Marvel and just not come back? Remember, we ain't seen him for a whole entire 2 sagas.
Give me something I can sink my teeth into. Y'all need me now. Y'all need us.
The Russos wanted to start their own. They wanted to start their own, but their stuff also hadn't been that super successful either.
Exactly, and like I said, the original plan was for because he didn't direct any Avenger movies. That still didn't stop. Kevin Feige was saying, "Yo, I want you to be my right hand man and take over this portion of Marvel. Help me run Marvel. I'm gonna take this portion, you take that portion, and then eventually I want you to step in and be my successor. I'm gonna step back." That was what the original plan was before, like I said, that whole tweet thing came out or whatever. And that's why Warner Brothers ended up.
How long does that take for someone to step away?
Oh, it depends.
How long does that take?
How long does it take? No, how long did it take Bob Iger to step away?
That's true, but this is Kevin Feige. He could be different. He could be a little bit more. He's a little bit more hands-on. You know what I'm saying? Like all I'm saying is like if it's nothing set in stone, if it wasn't nothing written about it, then it's just talk. And you're talking about people that has a lot of ego talking.
No, that was now it was written. That's what I'm telling you, BA. That was the actual plan. They talked about that. All that news came out when he got fired because of those tweets that came out. That was the original plan. He was supposed to be he was going to be the right hand man of Feige. The plan was he was going to take over the cosmic side of Marvel. He was going to usher in a whole entire cosmic saga and all that stuff on that side, and Martin and Kevin Feige was going to take care of everything else. That was the original plan, but right before he got fired for that tweet. That's why a lot of people were mad about that.
I forgot about the firing. I forgot about the firing.
Yeah.
He got ousted. He got fired from a higher up, so it had nothing to do with Kevin Feige. Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. But no, my bad. Go ahead, BJ. My bad.
No, I was gonna say so there's a few things. One, BA, who was if you may not know, who was the first person that James Gunn called when they made the offer? He called Kevin Feige and they talked about the offer. And they discussed it, and Kevin Feige encouraged him to go ahead and go and take the position. So they don't have like an acrimonious relationship. Like they're still good friends.
Yeah, they're close friends.
And
that's on me because I forgot he got fired, and then like Feige had nothing to do with Disney telling him that he got to let him go.
No,
that was
that wasn't Horn, was it?
Huh? No, that was Iger. That was Iger they fired.
Oh, okay. I thought it was
yeah, Iger put it down.
Okay. Wait, was Horn gone by then?
I believe so.
Alan Horn?
Yeah.
He was? Okay.
I feel like he was.
But no, you're right.
You might be
the whole
right.
story has been for years with the success of Guardians 1 and 2 that they had already made the announcement that Kevin Feige was going to that James Gunn was going to take over the cosmic side of Marvel. And so we remember they had all that stuff that they announced that never came out.
Yeah.
That was because they talked about doing the Nova series. They were supposed to be doing plus they do the bug.
That's also
Annihilus.
Oh yeah.
They're supposed to be doing an Annihilus story. They're supposed to be doing all kind of stuff. There was a whole bunch of stories that didn't happen once James Gunn stepped away.
That was also too, Big J. That was also around the time when remember they had made that deal with Ryan Coogler. Remember that? All that happened around the same time.
And what I think was going to happen is that they were going to, because remember, one of the big reasons that Marvel has suffered is because Kevin Feige got stretched too thin.
Yep. And that's why he was trying to get James Gunn on.
Yeah, because he was going to let James Gunn take over the cosmic side, and he ain't got to worry about it. And then he was going to still kind of oversee, but then Ryan Coogler was going to do Black Panther in that series, and then the Russos was doing the Avengers movies, so they would handle the team ups. Like it was all kind of working, and then when James Gunn left, it kind of pulled one leg out and then, like I said, he got overwhelmed, and then he's supposed to be doing everything, but you can't do everything. And that's why it all fell down. You're trying to increase the number of projects, but then you cutting down the number of creatives that can help run a project. Yeah. So that could fix a lot of it. And like I said, I don't like 100% of all the stuff that Gunn has done at DC, but I liked what he did with Disney, and I thought that there was a lot of promise there, and I think that he does well with that toy box. You know what I mean? He seemed to have a real good grasp of what was going on with that toy box, and I think he could really. I think the two of them work together. And the thing is, Feige ain't got to go nowhere because they didn't have, like, once again, they didn't have a bumping heads type relationship, and Iger's gonna be gone. Iger is gone, so it's like you don't have the guy that fired him there, so it's kind of free for him to come back if you want to because you don't have the bad relationship with the higher ups anymore.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, bro, you know what I hate? I hate that, I know we still got like a year, some change left or whatever with the project that they already greenlit and stuff, but I just feel like we're going to get this whole James Gunn DC experiment going to be short-handed, bro. Like we're not going to get the full, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it sucks because now we also hearing, the Ellisons are supposed to be tight with like Zack Snyder. They think it's rumored they might be trying to go back to the Snyderverse and all that junk. So I don't know, man.
I don't see Snyder even working with them, dude. I don't. Snyder was tight with the Netflix people, I thought.
Yeah, but that's what I thought that too. But I've been seeing some stuff people talking about. Like, it's rumors that the Ellison song, I forgot what it was. I saw. Actually, I thought I should have sent that to y'all. So I see what I was talking about. But it don't make any sense, bro. Obviously, he wants to keep people in positions or whatever that made the studio successful while also being the guy who run everything. And it's like what makes me nervous is like Paramount ain't just the greatest studio right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you're talking about trying to run a studio that's been successful for the last a few years now. And it's making me nervous, man. Like, we're talking about one of the most prominent studios of all of history. It's about to be ran to the ground, man. Like, literally. All because you want to push a certain agenda or whatever. And it's like, oh man, bro.
Here's the question. Do y'all think Supergirl would be the next movie coming out if the Ellisons already owned that?
No.
Probably not.
That's what I'm saying. So
hold on.
The stuff that they would approve is not going to be the stuff that we've been seeing.
You think Sinners would have came out?
No, not at all.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was like, those small movies, the IP that's not proven, that stuff will not get greenlit. Those guys don't have that kind of vision. You have a dude who's a failed actor who now runs a studio because his dad has $192 billion.
Bro, you heard what they said. So supposedly he gave both his son and his daughter $600 million a piece to go start a business.
Yeah.
Self-made.
Self-made. Self-made billionaires.
Gave them $600 million and said, "Go start a business." I said, "Jesus, boy."
And when he died, all he left us was alone.
So before we end it, y'all, let me ask y'all one question. Scale of 1 to 10. Do y'all think? How confident are y'all that y'all think this deal gonna go through? I'm gonna start with you, cuz. Scale of 1 to 10.
Can I give a caveat?
Go ahead.
I give it an 8 that it's going to go through. I think it's going to get blown up though. It's going to be blown up. I think.
Bro, you know what? I'm more mad about the blow up part than I am them getting them. That's what I don't like. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think it's going to get blown up. It's going to go through, but it's going to get blown up. But then I would say. 26 within a decade, it's going to get blown up.
How long did it take for AT&T to do what they did?
Was that 5 years?
About 5 years. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't care what nobody say. It's worse than AT&T.
Oh yeah, within I'm giving it a decade.
Like AT&T had a plan, the plan just failed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, what you got, Big J?
Yeah, AT&T lasted 4 years.
Okay, see,
2018 to 2022.
Yep. See what I'm saying? It's gonna be worse than AT&T, man.
Oh yeah. No, honestly, like I said, I honestly at this point, because of all the attorney generals and that CFIUS thing that they were talking about, the Committee on Foreign Investment and the U.S. Like I said, that's another thing that they would have to get approval on. And like I said, besides I just don't see, with all the people against it, and the fact that we're talking about losing $6 billion worth of jobs. You know what I'm saying? That's why California is definitely
the Writers Guild
and these other states. I could even see Georgia stepping in, because some of the stuff gets filmed down in Georgia. You know, so you might see red states being like, "Nah," you know what I'm saying? Because we're gonna lose a bunch of jobs because a bunch of shows and a bunch of movies are gonna get canceled because y'all trying to do synergies and save money and all this. So between that, the foreign money coming through, and like I said, and then like I said, even if it was to by some miracle go through, if Trump threatened everybody to force it through, or else he was going to bomb somebody else, I think what would end up happening is that it's going to fall apart. Because, like you said, it's a bad business idea, because they're not buying it for the business; they're buying it for an agenda, and that's not how you run a business.
It never works.
No.
What you got, BA?
You got 100%.
100%. This is going to go through. I like to see. I like to see things burn. You know, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not an arsonist, but I like to see things burn. So I kind of hope it goes through. Everything great. Everything goes through, and then it just boom. It just plummets. Just nosedive, and then Netflix comes through.
Give me time frame.
Y'all say AT&T was full. I'm gonna say 6 years. I'm gonna say it's gonna take about 6 years. Because they're gonna have some ups and they're gonna have some ups. They buy some time, and then it's gonna come crashing down. So yeah, definitely. We still won't have the Batman 3, by the way. So I just want to throw that as a caveat. We still won't. We will go through a whole merger of and failed, by the way, before we get.
You might not get the Batman, the Batman Brave and the Bold either, BA.
Oh man!
Oh no, that's not coming out for 2-3 years. So no, that ain't.
Yep. Dang. Whoops.
So there you go.
Hey, it feel like that Affleck Batman movie that we didn't get, man. Dang.
Yeah.
Gonna be another what if. Yeah, my bad. I mean, making my mad, but yeah. I gotta answer. Like I said, I don't want it to go through. But it's a lot of stuff lead me to think that it might not go through. I don't want to, get my hopes up, but it's kind of hard to not do that when, like I said, we're hearing all this news and all this stuff. I'm gonna give it a 5 just to be safe. And I'm with y'all. BA said 6, cuz he said 5, cuz or 4.
I said within a decade. I'll be more specific. 3.
Ooh, okay.
After it confirms. After it confirms.
After that.
Yeah. Damn. 3 years.
And you said, what'd you say, BJ? You said 3?
My thoughts are, I think as soon as the 2028 election is over with, this falls apart.
That's what I was doing the 3 years.
That's not 3 years no more. It's the 2028 election is not 3 years anymore. We ain't got to suffer.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
I'm with you on that. Now that BJ just said that, I'm with you. I'm gonna say 2 to 3 years, because they already talk about it. They end up winning. The Democrats, when they win, they definitely gonna veto it or whatever, or try to find a way to break it up. Because they monopolizing, journalism and all that stuff right now. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm gonna say 2. I'm right now. I'm on a 5. I'm gonna be on the fence there. No pun intended for BA show. But I'm gonna be on the fence there. I'm gonna give it a 5. I'm gonna say 2 to 3. I'm with Cuz and BJ. I'm gonna say 2 to 3 years after the deal is greenlit and all that stuff. I think it's gonna be 2 or 3 years, but we're gonna see. Yeah, y'all let us know in the comment section, man, what y'all think, man. What's y'all thoughts on the whole Paramount Warner Brothers? Y'all think James Gunn's gonna stick around for this? You think anybody at Warner Brothers, any head president of any studio is gonna be sticking around for this? Y'all let us know. All right, man. Let's go ahead and turn the page to these questions, comments, fellas. We can call it a night. All right, man. We got Pluto in the building. He said BA out here cooking, man. He said no grease. He said all butter in the bottom of the skillet, man. You know what I'm saying?
Chef BA.
He also says he said if Ellison leaves him alone and at least lets him prove himself, James should stay. MCU is the house Feige built. Gunn don't want to rent.
That's fair.
Yeah. And then he says not after getting a taste. But yeah, like we said, man, it's gonna be to the point that James Gunn's gonna probably be the one running Marvel after a while. So they'll work partner for a little bit there, then he'll probably end up running it. Because I think Kevin Feige gonna eventually want to step down and let him run it. So, but he definitely got he gonna have some suitors, man. He had suitors the last time before he went over to Warner Brothers. So yeah, he gonna definitely have suitors. That's not gonna be the issue. It's just like BJ was saying. It's like what do you want to do? You know what I'm saying? Like BJ, you don't think he want to do original stuff?
I think he got a little bit of that with trauma, but I don't think he wants to keep doing that.
Okay, I was wondering that, but I mean, you might be right with the whole. You want to kind of stay within that realm or whatever. Say BJ right on everything. But yeah, man, listen, we did appreciate y'all, man, geeking out with your boys, man. Y'all let us know in the comment section, man, what y'all think about this story with the whole Paramount event actually buying out Warner Brothers, outbidding Netflix. Y'all let us know in the comment section. Hit them subscribe buttons if you're new. Also hit them likes, y'all. Hit the likes. We will be back here on Saturday morning, y'all. Stay geeked. And we out, y'all.